Blackish has not only established itself as one of television's best hit comedies, but also one of its most meaningful. Today we're at PaleyFest Los Angeles chatting with Anthony Anderson, Tracee Ellis Ross, and the entire cast, so get ready for a great night behind the velvet rope. Anthony Anderson, you've hit a home run with this show, man. Congratulations. You guys, on so many levels, have not just made a funny and great show, but a meaningful show.
Thank you.
Talk to me about Blackish and the meaning it's providing to millions of people across America.
Well, you know, when we, Kenya Maris and I sat down and you know, talked about what we wanted to do in television and how we would come up with the show, we said we wanted to be timely. We said we wanted to be topical. We said we wanted to deal with divisive topics that spark conversations and create dialogue and tell this unapologetic story, or the story from this unapologetic character in Andre, and I think that's what we're doing.
We're going through a period of time right now, we saw it with the Oscars, where there's an enormous racial and cultural divide. There's not enough real diversity happening in Hollywood. When you have a show like this on the air, as not only a star but the executive producer, how much meaning is that for you to be able to put a product like this out?
It means a great deal. You know, all stories need to be told. And, you know, we were fortunate enough to be at a network that allowed us to tell our story. We've made some strides, but there's still strides to make. You know, you talk about the Oscars, you know, we can't blame the Oscars for that. You know, it's the gatekeepers and the people who are controlling and deciding what movies will be made and who will be in them. So that's what we have to deal with. That's, you know, what happens at the Oscars is just a byproduct of what isn't happening on the executive level for minorities in this industry.
Talk to me about being part of the show, because not only is it hilarious, it's dramatic, but it's also meaningful. Talk to me about being part of it and the meaning that this show brings to millions of people across the country.
Well, I think there's a lot of pieces in that. I think it really, we set the stage with the name of the show, that this show wasn't called The Johnsons, but was called Blackish, and kind of started to redefine and unpack what that might mean, what black means today. And then as the public met us, as our audience got to meet us, they got to really feel the fact that this was a character-based family comedy. That was about a family dealing with what it is to have grown as a human, gained a certain amount of success, and changed as a person with Dre, and how you raise your children. And is what you want to pass on to them about tradition, culture, race? Is it socioeconomic? What is it? And how do you pass something on to your kids and help them be great, better people as they grow? So the combination of those two things sort of set the stage. And then we are a cast that works incredibly well together with writing that is exceptional. And so the wonderful soup of that, I think, has allowed people to move with us on a journey where we can explore heavier topics in the context of this family comedically, and still bring people with us.
Talk to me about the impact the show is having.
The impact the show is having, Blackish is having a huge impact right now. You know, what better way than having, I think it's the #2 comedy on ABC right now, where people, primetime, network, where people can sit on their sofas and just soak it in, really get some knowledge going on, but laughing hysterically the whole time. I'm going to tell you, I've done, and I don't brag, I say with humility, I say with humility, I've done 259 episodic television, 65 movies, 4 Broadway shows. Blackish is the only show that I've done, maybe besides Fresh Prince, that I sit and laugh hysterically.
You're on a pretty cool show. Talk to
thank
me. It's
you.
got to be a pretty cool experience.
Yes, it's a really cool experience just to be on a really successful show, and just getting to meet all these people and seeing all these things and just getting to be different places. And this is my first series, so it's really cool just to know people are watching our show.
You're like 1 for 1 in this business. How cool is that? Like most people, it takes 20 years to break in. You broke in and you're a kid. How crazy is that?
It's just really amazing feeling that I just like to do what I like to do, and just that people can recognize kids for doing the same job jobs adults do. So just getting to be on the show is really awesome for me. Blackish is just so great to be on, and just like going on set and just seeing everybody smile and have fun, and then shoot, and then more laughs and stuff. It's just so great, and it's such a great experience.
You having fun with Anthony and Tracee Ellis?
Yes. Oh my gosh, they're just so great.
You guys have become America's favorite new family. It's got to be exciting. Blackish season 2. You having fun?
We're having so much fun. I mean, I call Anthony my padre now, which is a double entendre because it is both father and padre, and his character's name is Dre, and I laugh at that. But yeah.
You couldn't figure out 2 people to better work with, right? Than these two.
No, I know. We've landed in a pretty cool cast and crew. I feel like that is a beautiful thing about our set, is that everybody is so positive and nice and has such amazing energy. I mean, we already are lucky enough to have a great cast, but when you step onto our set, it feels like, even though you're at work and there's stuff that has to be done, you feel like you're welcomed and that people want you to be there.
It's taken the world by storm, and you're here at PaleyFest, it's season 2. It's got to be a blast to be part of this thing.
It's an absolute blast. I mean, to be on a show like this that is so funny day in, day out, and to have but also matters, you know. I mean, this show has a reverb that is something I've never been a part of. You know, I've been acting for 30 years, and I'm always delighted to have any job, but this is a show that I'm continually proud of. People are touched by different episodes that you're kind of surprised by one. Shows like Hope, shows like the N-Word show, obviously are ones that people are really profoundly moved by. But other shows were the show about the nod, it's such a relatable show. Every person of every color responds to the show, and I think that's phenomenal. And that speaks to Kenya and his vision, and Larry and Anthony. It's amazing.